All right, welcome to the final episode of I don't know what to call it, January, Florida. First show in January. Not even the first show. Anyway, back in Florida. Let's just call it that. Back in Florida. Kind of seems like the best name for it. This is Sunday, actually. It's past Saturday now. It's Sunday, and it is about 12 something, so very early. My first note is that mics. So tonight was the second show at the same place. So we had two shows, a Friday night and a Saturday night at the same venue because they sold out both nights, which was pretty cool. That doesn't usually happen. They sell out both nights, but this time did. And yeah, that was actually, and it's a very nice place too. Really, really nice golf club, or well, it's more than a golf club. It's more of a community, like a living community. Yeah, very nice. Just sort of one of those private clubs, private living community, whatever. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what they kind of consider themselves, but it's out here in Florida. I mean, it's sort of like what you'd expect to be a really high-end, very fancy high-end club to be. So two shows, and last night we did a show, Friday night I should say, and I think the script was, well, it's not a script for everybody. It's could use a little work, I think, some refreshers, because it's written, I don't know, early 90s maybe, so it's a very, very old script. So we decided to do a different show tonight, because we're actually doing the same show 2 nights, and decided to do a different show tonight. And this show, I think, worked out much better. So I think we had a lot more positive feedback. Well, yesterday had positive feedback too, but I think this one had a lot more positive feedback and less negative feedback. You're always going to get a tiny bit. So yeah, but the only challenge was, the reason going all the way back to the beginning that wrote mics is because we had mics, and they weren't like mics you wear, they were mics you hold. That was sort of difficult. And I was thinking, this is the first time it's ever happened, but not last year we actually had a situation where even it was my sound system. I brought the thing and had 2 mics, so we kind of used it a little, but we couldn't use them for the whole show. But in this situation, we kind of had to. The one tonight and last night was just, we had to, anytime you talked, the only way you were really going to be heard, unless you were yelling, and did do some of that, was to hold a mic. So there's a lot of, I think by the second night we got pretty good at that. Could have like kind of walking by, knowing your line's coming up, finding some with the mic, and then handing off. And we had talked about that, so we made it work, which I'm really kind of proud of. But I wouldn't want to do this all the time, having to have if you're mic'd, you have a mic on your head and you don't think about it or worry about it, like, theater, a lot of theaters. So we had to get around that challenge or adversity. Interesting that now I feel great. The allergies or whatever it was, I just don't know if it was a cold, because I don't know, a cold usually affects you a lot more. I mean, there were symptoms that affected my whole body to some degree, but it was mainly in my head, and well, actually not even my whole head, just the right side of my face, my nose and my eye, and that was about it. So the throat even wasn't that bad for the most part. I guess a little bit. Anyway, it's not a problem now because it's gone, so I feel great. I feel 100%, and it's just nice to feel 100% for the first time in days. But it's my last day. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, so yeah, 8 days. And I've had this actually, I guess, before I even came. I think it was like the night before, I kind of could sense something was a little amiss. So it was sort of an 8-day allergy or an 8-day cold. If it were a cold, I don't know. But yeah, it kind of sucked to have not be at 100% physically or whatever when I was here. Even though it didn't affect the shows. Actually, I was fine doing the shows, but it just to have to feel like not have my normal amount of energy or whatever, spunk. That was disappointing to some degree. Not a lot, but yeah. Anyway, yes, as I said, I'm leaving in the morning after 8 days. I haven't had an 8-day stretch away from home in in a while. I've had like 4s and 5s have been pretty common, but not 8. Um, and I say that, I think, well, how long was New Year's? New Year's was about 6, so I was actually close to New Year's. I guess it's not that much more. But funny, I just had New Year's and then a couple days at home and then this. So I have not been in Seattle. It's like, why do I have to pay so much? Well, it's not really rent. It's mortgage. So it's kind of rent, but it's kind of mortgage. So it just seems almost silly. Why am I living in Seattle? I'm never there. I don't know. I'll have to think about those things. But for now, I do have to get back home. I mean, it's not that I miss it. I don't think I miss really. I mean, the condo and over, I don't miss any of that, which is a sign that like, maybe I don't really need to live there that badly, because I don't miss any of it, really. But I do miss friends. I mean, my friends are close by, so there's that. But that's not technically not Seattle, so not Seattle, the condo. So I don't know. Yeah, I think that helps make me realize, why am I there? Why do I need to be in Seattle? I don't. And I'm not there because I ever really truly wanted to be there. It was just a good stepping stone to get out of Pleasanton, the home I was renting, and get somewhere new, and then my next place, whatever, wherever that may be. But the weather here has been, 50s. I would say, we don't know. But it has been like in the 50s right now. And it's been up to like 79 or 80 on some days, and 70s or 60s. It fluctuates all over the place. But I do appreciate the fact that it's not 20 degrees or 18 or 16, because that's what Seattle's been. So I'm going home to below freezing weather. So that part is not that ideal. And I definitely would be probably taking Uber home and not trying to take the train. If I take the train some of the way, maybe I could take Uber the rest of the way. I don't know. It's just, I don't want to walk through the streets, freezing streets, and be slipping on ice. I don't know what it's like there, but it seems like it's worse than last year. But we've had fun here. We got a lot of noise out there. Sort of I think it's the neighbors with I don't like to label people, but they do have a Confederate flag under the normal, U.S. flag. So it's U.S. first and then Confederate second. So, it's like at least they have that. But I'm not trying to judge, but it is interesting. It's like, you guys are always kind of very loud outside. But yeah, I don't know. I would be loud outside in other places too, if I were with friends. So I try to keep that in mind. And it's interesting to think about. All right, anyway, moving on. We've had fun. We did some fun things. We went to bars and a whiskey or a rum place, distillery. And yeah, some food. Got to fly my drone twice. Got to go to a nice ecological preserve, so that was kind of cool. I like doing stuff like that, just getting out of the house. But it's not that hanging around is bad, because I think it's important to just have the downtime, relax, study. A lot of times we had 4 different shows, so it is actually really important to have time to relax and study. I liked it for sleeping in also, because I was up so late many nights. But sleeping in and just, recharging is important too. But you can't do that every day. You do have to get out and do some things. And we did. We got downtown Fort Myers and, like I said, the preserve and some bars and some fun stuff. So that was good. And it's good to have that camaraderie, because there's like 4 of us here at times, or 3 or 4, it fluctuated. But also at the same time, I think it also is good to have, for one thing, always have your noise canceling headphones, because there are times where you're just going to need it. You just it's an interesting group, because there's like very big personalities, and you have, it's not fighting as much as just bickering or disagreements, or just people, wanting to be noticed. So that it can get a little, in short, it can get loud at times with people talking, and if there's a TV going and if there's other stuff going, it can get loud. So it is really important, I think, to have the noise canceling or a place to get away, because most of my time I don't deal with stuff like that. I don't mind it, but it's just different, because the New Year's group is not the same way. just it doesn't have the same rapport or chemistry, and my getaway to New York is different. So each group is different, but sometimes, at the end of the day, if you could just block out noise, block out sound, you'll be okay. I'll be okay at least. So, but also being away for 8 days lets me know what possessions I kind of need or really have to have around. The laptop's important. The tablet, I don't know if the tablet's even that important, because I mainly use it for the Duolingo, but I can do that on my phone just as easily. So I really have to start thinking, why am I bringing this tablet? Because it was mainly for Duolingo, and I just realized I don't even have to study it every day when I'm doing other things. So I might not bring that, or just not bring both. It just seems silly to bring both. But I will note that when I try to work or edit or do anything with videos or Photoshop, that having external monitors is massively important. It's just so hard to do anything on just the 14-inch laptop or even the 16. It's just, you need a separate monitor. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe in the future I can get one of those foldable. There's new stuff coming out in CS this year I've read about, so that's kind of interesting. I will be following that. Tomorrow's flight did get upgraded to first class. So far this year has been working out for my status, and this is the highest level status I've ever had. I've never had 100 before this year, so when it does work out, it's really appreciated. So I'm very happy to be flying home comfortably, and I flew out here comfortably too, and I flew home from Puerto Vallarta comfortably as well. So I think that's working out. Yeah, and another fun fact about this trip is, like I said, 4 shows. This is the first time, and so it's almost been a year, one more month it'll be a year, for doing these shows out here. This is the first time it's actually been profitable. So the pay is covered, the airfare, and any food or drink, whatever. I don't count lodging, because I get to stay out here for free, so that helps. Otherwise, I don't know if I could have done this at all. I probably wouldn't have, maybe once, but not every month. So it's a profitable month, which is good. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice. Well, at least this weekend. Next weekend is probably going to be, I don't think it's going to pay for the show. Is going to pay for the flight. I can't with just one show, but next week or the week after that, I think it'll be profitable too. Yeah, it's interesting being here this time of year, because football is going on, and we have other football fans, but it has been harder to watch it because of all the craziness going on with streaming and Peacock and ESPN, and it's kind of frustrating. But we did watch a few games, and we've really enjoyed it, except for the most recent one tonight we were watching, and I was like, that's a terrible game. It's just terrible. Yeah, 2024 rolls on. It's crazy to think that we're like halfway through January already almost, and that's 1/24th of the year. In a couple more weeks it could be a 12th, and it's got to slow down. It cannot go by this fast. I can't have it going by this fast, but I can't stop it either. So the bottom line, you just have to make the most of it. Hang out with people, get your exercise, try to eat well, and have goals and plans, and enjoy the present, because in a split second it becomes the past. All right, that's it for now. Cheers.